And we're about to finish this, I promise this time. So I got the eye put back in there. I was able to touch up, run the teeth and gums a little bit, add a little bit of detail, like some skin folds for to simulate some fleshy regions and bending around the gum edge of the mouth. Then to the cheeks and the underneath the chin, the gullet here, without changing too much. I opened his mouth a bit. And I opened his eye a bit more. So this one was like looking down, like, like in a meeting. And the universal one has like the big drop here. So I thought maybe I'd kind of add this part here and then maybe a bigger brow in the middle. And then I think the tongue, I think a lot of beholders have a really great tongue coming out. So I think I'll set this off, have a tongue kind of wagging out of his mouth a little bit. So let's do the top part up here first. So I think there's some good chitness areas here, but I like the bigger brow down over here. So if we go the nice big grab brush here, should be able to bring this down without too much trouble. Now, if I want to mask this off, I can. I can go in here and mask off the lower brow, and that way, if I get a bigger brush, I can kind of crease that up. I just have to be careful and unmask the right spot and then bring this down. There it goes. And so, yeah, I'm getting the eyeball. You can see down there, and I don't want to do that. So let me be very careful here. Let me just unmask this area. So I just hit Control click on the side, and then I unmasked just this brow region here. This is a really common way to work, by the way, in digital scope. Then I can bring this here, and then I can really kind of pull some of that brow forward, like the universal one, and I can grab that middle and maybe bring some more of that down as well. And a little bit more expression, so I kind of liked what was happening there. And clear the brow. Yeah, there you go. A little bit more expression. He's got a little smile here. He's got a little yeah, smug snarl there. I think I like this one way better. So we can accentuate that as well. The sides here. I don't have the gum showing as much, but it's okay. I've already kind of done that, I think, to some degree. I didn't do the kind of the smirky snarl there as much, but I do the lines of the lip here. I think they look a little goofy in the way that was done. I like these ones a little bit better. So let's go ahead and let's bridge between the two parts here, up over the top of the um, mouth here, and let's see if I can separate these a little bit better. Excuse me. So we'll cut. Make sure there's a clear cut across here with these pieces from underneath the eye region right there, and go with these bigger chunks here. No, this may be one of those cases where I could have just left it, but I thought, what the hell, gonna finish it off, so might as well do it the way you want to do it, right? There we go. And then when we get into this spot like right here, I think like that. I think I can make these like singular pieces a bit more just by joining together with the brush there, slicing in between. There we go. Going back to the flattened brush, careful it's not on lock plane, which I know was earlier, so I'm being super careful to avoid that and kind of chiseling that down a bit again. Shift to smooth, chisel that down some more. E, and kind of revisit where that separation is, smooth that out. If it got a little wild there. Yeah, being in a rush is, it's good to move fast and then know when to say when, literally, and uh, slow it down for a minute. Just take a breath, look at what you got, make sure you're not creating any damage. Did that once very recently. I was UV mapping and I was going really fast and I grabbed the head that I'd already UV mapped and I went to UV map the body. And then when I was done, I was like, okay, I'm done. And then I looked and yeah, I had to re-UV map the head, which didn't go as well as the first quick time I did it. So you might have seen that on my other demo. But yeah, it happens. There you go. Yeah, I don't know how that much of a difference that made, but I think we'll notice right in here. Yeah, E and then Alt E to bring that edge back up again. There. And right here. And these ones over here got a little pillowy as well. I'm just going to keep finding stuff to do. So let's see. Let me stop there. Deadlines, right? Good for you. Let me get some of this shit done. Oh, there we go. I thought those turned out pretty cool on the side over there. There was more of them over here. Um, that I can accentuate, bringing the wrinkles out, pushing back in, pulling out again, cutting back in. And carving that corner in right there and finishing a little fleshy fill right there. There we go. Not quite as good as the other side, but I think definitely no one's going to notice except for me. So that's when you know you're being silly. No one will notice except for you. Peace with it. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, we're done. So let's save what we've been doing here and let's div him a tongue. So he's got a bit more expression now. So it's definitely in between the two, I think now. He's got a bit more of this expression in the eye, and he's got that little more fearsome. He's got the chitinous body and hinged eye stalks of the original Waterdeep cover, City of Splendors. But let's give him a tongue. So you're going to create a new sphere and add the object right in the middle, like so. And going to scale it down. And let's take off the XYZ. We're going to scale it down flat this way. Then see if I can scale it out this way. And then see if I can grab global and bring it out that way. So I think I'm going to start off making it a bit bigger than it needs to be. And then we'll make it smaller as we go. Did I go off center there somehow? Looks like I did, huh? That was strange. Yeah, all right, so then scale back to XYZ, hit the S key, that'll bring the whole thing down. There we go. And then, whoops, go G. And I want it to be wide enough to kind of fill that bottom part of the jaw. Then kind of dangle out and do a little tail wag on there. Should be kind of awesome like that. Okay, and we'll go a little flatter down more this way. There we go. And grab, I'm going to bring it, pull it back out again, says I have a hard time, as soon as you tap the other object, it's going to start doing some strange stuff. So I do have symmetry off, so that's unfortunate. Not really a lot I could do about that. If I design this tongue individually or in a separate file, might be a little bit smoother. But then I'm not going to get the perfect fit into the mouth cap that you're seeing right now. It's going to be a pretty good fit, I think. There we go. And then I'll bring this back in like that and bring it in from the other side. Very asymmetrical. Very cool. And bring the tip down here. Nice big brush. Ah, let's do it from the front side of you. Oops. Uh, Grab, where'd my brush go? There it goes. That center there. Yeah, it's really dependent a lot. You'll keep repeating. It's really dependent on the screen itself. There we go. Like where the angle is at. And I'll make sure the back of the tongue is kind of filling the space nicely. And now I can go to grab brush and global, pull the whole thing out, and then just a bit of the basics on tongues. They kind of go down the back of the throat. So right in here, it's gonna intersect through the back of the opening that I made. So that's actually a good thing. Go like that. And then down the middle right here, I'm going to do a fairly large crease down the middle right here. So let's turn off the wireframe for a minute and let's make sure that this crease goes down and through the end. There we go. Then go back to my regular brush and let's kind of fill in some of the muscles. Tongue has muscles in it. Smooth as I, whoa, whoops. Shift key, not control. Smooth this out a bit. There it goes. Smooth this out a bit to the tip. And then shift, smooth out some more. Let's see how that's looking. Getting there? Yeah. A few strokes at a time, smooth it out. Don't want to use any flattening. It should be very squishy and organic feeling. There we go. And then maybe at the tip here, I can have a little fun with the shape and the tail wag on there. Ooh. And I wanted to taper. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And then maybe coming, oops, back and up again a little bit. Now um, if I start masking, then I can only mask the end of it, right? So that's kind of the, whoops, the problem with where they left, uh, the state they left sculptures in for Fixologic Optum. So I'm gonna finish as much of the part I know is going in the mouth first. I'll leave this part here. Although I could, let's see if I try the opposite of inflate. Let's see if that smooth is good. We're actually working pretty good. Just be patient. There we go. Wireframe back on again. Yeah, there it goes. See, I have Q. Yes, I do have detail on. So shift smooth, shift smooth, shift smooth. Now right here's where I was hoping to flatten it. So let's try the flatten brush just a little bit, and then I can round it back out. There we go. Okay, that's actually doing what I want. It's just weird having symmetry off right after all that work we did with symmetry on. There we go. At the end, smooth, smooth, smooth. There we go. Keep smoothing, and flatten. So I have the flatten brush on, and I'm really just smoothing. As I flatten the plane, I'll then shift smooth it back out again. I could go back into the crease tool. I could do big, some detail underneath, but I don't want to get too detailed with it. I think this is fine. So let's grab this thing and global turn on. Let's slap it back in there. And I think I'm pretty happy with that. I go intersection of the teeth a little bit right here. Get down maybe a little more like that, and then go in with the grab tool individually, see if I can push it up without hitting the teeth as much, right? It's going to have some squishiness there. I think that actually works pretty well, even if it goes through just a little bit. I think that's kind of a good design idea. There we go. And then I can work back here. I think that is more the shape I was going for originally. So now I can come in here and kind of thin that part of the tongue out and then bring this. I wanted to do like a curve. There we go, like something more devilish. Yeah, there we go. That's what I was hoping for. So having those teeth there kind of helped me make that decision. There we go. Yeah, awesome. Maybe bring some of the roundness back. The muscle is like right here in the two sides. There we go. And then go down the bottom here a little bit. Whoops. A little smaller and nice kind of curl to it. And one more just at the tip here. And use the inflate brush again. That should add a bit of detail as well. It wasn't adding enough wireframe to keep it from getting jagged, triangulated. Just keep going, puff it up a bit extra. There we go. And then just, not that much. And just very gently smooth it back out again. Yeah, I wonder why. Oh, maybe maybe if I turn the detail just a tiny bit as I'm touching this. All right, a little more even. What's going on? Give me some detail. There we go. Smooth some more. Got a little wonky there at the end. See if I smooth it a lot, it's going to get really, really pointy. Isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just trying to show you some finesse with this tool, and maybe not achieving quite as much finesse as I would have wanted. Little bit of gesture, little curve, and call it saliva slather, lather. There we go. We'll zoom back some more. I think that's gonna be all right like that. Yeah, let's pull some of mm, the muscle part, kind of squishing together here. There we go. Yeah, there's a nice little rivulet in there. Okay, there are all of the um, masking, and there we go. I can easily take it into my air blender and break it into parts. And um, but I think it's all done. There's Xanathar, the master criminal overlord of Waterdeep, and the main character for the new feature at Universal Studios. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I will be making another one for the 3D printing process, but we will see you uh, on that next video. And I'm going to do a resin print and maybe also a PLA print. So, and we'll rig and animate them, bring them into Unreal Engine, and we'll see how the mask turns out too. All right, see y'all next video.